The lights of Las Vegas shimmered over the desert as Formula One returned to the Strip for a night of high-stakes racing. And while the casinos dealt cards to thousands of gamblers, one man played his hand to perfection. Max Verstappen delivered a masterclass in control, aggression, and unwavering determination, winning the Las Vegas Grand Prix with enough dominance to keep his fading World Championship hopes alive. For now. Coming into the race, Verstappen knew the odds were stacked against him. With Lando Norris leading the title fight and Oscar Piastri pushing from behind, the Dutchman needed nothing short of perfection. And that's exactly what he delivered. But the real story of the night wasn't just Verstappen's win, it was the shifting tides in the championship battle. Lando Norris, calm and laser-focused despite the blinding pressure, secured second place, proving once again why he has been the most consistent and collected driver of the season. He needed points, he needed stability, and he executed with remarkable composure, even as his aggressive start nearly cost him everything. His teammate Oscar Piastri finished fourth, keeping his own championship hopes mathematically alive, but just barely. With only 2 races remaining, Qatar, which includes a sprint, and the grand finale in Abu Dhabi, Piastri trails Norris by 30 points, and Verstappen sits 42 points back. The championship may not be officially decided, but the writing is beginning to appear faintly on the wall. Norris is edging closer and closer to becoming world champion. The drama began instantly. As the lights went out over Las Vegas Boulevard, Norris lunged hard across the track, immediately defending against Verstappen on the inside. It was bold, it was risky, and for a split second it looked like he might pull it off. But in trying to shut the door, Norris overcooked it into turn 1, ran wide, and opened the door for Verstappen to snatch the lead with the cold calmness of a man who has been in title fights before. Worse still, Norris's mistake allowed George Russell's Mercedes to slip past into second, turning what could have been a strategic race into a fight-back mission. Piastri's night was no easier. Contact with Liam Lawson at the start dropped him to 7th, forcing him to rebuild his race from the midfield chaos. Once Verstappen had clean air, the story shifted dramatically. Gone were the struggles of qualifying in wet conditions. On a dry circuit, under the neon glow, the Red Bull was reborn. Sharp, stable, and crushingly fast. Verstappen's pace was relentless, and for lap after lap he tightened his grip on the Grand Prix, controlling the race with an authority reminiscent of his dominant seasons. The calmness in his radio messages spoke volumes. There was no panic, no stress, only execution. In a championship where every point matters, this was Verstappen stating clearly, "I'm not done fighting." Behind him, the strategic battles began. Tire graining was a problem for nearly everyone, especially McLaren, which suffered massively from it in last year's Las Vegas race. Russell, unable to match Verstappen's pace, had to back off. Piastri and Norris pitted early, trying the undercut, with Norris emerging behind Russell, but on fresher tires. That's when the McLaren pit wall delivered the message every Norris fan loves to hear: attack mode. And he attacked he did. On lap 34, Norris executed a clean, confident pass on Russell, diving through turn 14 with commitment and precision. The team urged him on the radio, "We're going to get Max." But even with fresh tires and newfound momentum, the gap to Verstappen was a mountain too steep to climb. And Verstappen? He simply turned the dial up again. Fastest lap after fastest lap, perfectly managing his hard tires, perfectly controlling the pace, perfectly shutting down any hope Norris might have had. This wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. A reminder of why Verstappen has been the benchmark in F1 for years. A reminder that even when the championship seems out of reach, he will push to the very end. Further down the field, Oscar Piastri quietly delivered one of the most impressive drives of the race. After the contact at the start, he dropped places and risked losing vital championship ground, not only to Norris, but to Verstappen as well. But with precise tire management and confident overtakes, he climbed back to 4th, limiting the damage. It wasn't the night he dreamed of, but it kept the championship mathematically alive. Lewis Hamilton, starting in 19th after a disastrous qualifying session, fought his way back to 10th, scoring a single hard-earned point for Mercedes. Charles Leclerc brought home 6th behind Antonelli's Mercedes, while Sainz struggled to find grip in Ferrari's unpredictable package. In a weekend full of unpredictability, midfield chaos, and championship pressure, every driver was forced to dig deep. Earlier in the day, Las Vegas also witnessed another champion being crowned. Dorian Pin, the rising star of the Mercedes Junior program, secured the 2025 F1 Academy Championship with a steady fifth-place finish in the season finale. At only 21, she already joins Marta Garcia and Abby Pulling in the history books and represents the next generation of elite female racing talent. Her triumph added yet another layer of celebration to the electric atmosphere in Vegas. As the night ended and the strip's lights reflected off the desert sky, the championship picture became clearer, even if it isn't mathematically sealed. Norris now knows the title is within touching distance. He won't admit it, he won't allow himself to think it, but the numbers don't lie. If he leaves Qatar with a 26-point lead, he will be world champion before Abu Dhabi even begins. But he must be perfect in Qatar, and Verstappen must pray for a miracle. The stakes have never been higher. The emotions have never been more raw, and the next two races, Qatar and Abu Dhabi, will define the legacies of three remarkable drivers chasing one dream. The final chapter of this championship is coming, and after Las Vegas, one thing is certain. Max Verstappen refuses to go quietly. Lando Norris refuses to crack under pressure. Oscar Piastri refuses to give up. The desert heat may have cooled, but the championship fire has never burned brighter. As the Las Vegas lights fade and the championship race tightens to its most dramatic point, one thing is clear: Formula One history is unfolding right in front of us. And if you want to stay ahead of every twist, every shock result, and every championship-defining moment, make sure you don't miss what comes next. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications, because the next two races, Qatar and Abu Dhabi, will decide everything. Norris, Verstappen, Piastri. Only one will walk away as world champion, and we'll be covering every lap, every strategy call, and every heartbreak right here. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next race breakdown.